Non-disabled people might think I don't want intimacy or relationships. I don't have any problem meeting people, but when it comes to the romance side of things, that's when it can be difficult. Having self-confidence is such an important part of my sexual expression. Having the confidence to start a relationship or situation where I might meet someone is the very first hurdle I have to overcome. I mean, on the dating sites on the internet, I feel flawed, so I'm not very good at selling myself, but you need to, and really that's down to confidence. Other people my age have had sex, they've had partners, and I've been left behind. I need the confidence to know and say to people that disabled bodies sometimes do different things, and that's okay.
I've been told that disabled people don't need the same emotional connection with other people, but making connection with people really improve my sense of who I am and my sexual well-being. Even if I don't have sex with that person, the emotional spark can be thrilling and fulfilling even on its own. And I think that making emotional connection are crucial to my mental health. Otherwise, I feel lonely and depressed. I find that being fully aware of someone is feeling is really intimate, and it makes you feel really close to them. Needing care and assistance when it can be difficult to find any private space get in the way of making meaningful connection. However, with understanding and respect, this is totally possible to achieve.
Someone said to me that it was disgusting that I have sex. It's like people think disabled people can't enjoy sex, or if it involves someone who doesn't have a beach-ready body, it's disgusting. Feeling desirable is really important to me, but it's difficult when there's no one like me in the pictures I see in the magazines, in films and online. It seems that society thinks disabled people can't be desirable because our bodies aren't like the ones you see in the media. But then I found out about the new generation of disabled models who are beautiful and sexy. Seeing their pictures has really helped me look at my body differently.
Some people think that disabled people, such as autistic people, don't like physical contact, but everyone is different. Having physical touch, that's not medical or personal care, is something most people want, regardless of ability. Whether just a hug or something more intimate, being able to enjoy exploring my own body and someone else's with consent is really important to how I feel connected to myself and others. Simple things can make all the difference, like when my partner's chair is put close to mine so we can hold hands. I think people need to leave their personal opinions at the door. I really feel that some of the things I've been told are so judgmental, and nothing would have happened to help me if they'd been allowed to openly voice those attitudes. I've heard that cuddle therapy, that's when people are paid to provide cuddles, is really popular, which just goes to show the importance of physical contact to people.
A friend asked me whether disabled people could enjoy sensual feelings. I put them straight and said yes, of course. Even if your disability impacts on some of your senses, there are other ways to enjoy sensual pleasure. I think having good, open attitudes is the best thing in intimate relationships, but also with professionals too. So, if there is something the person needs to talk about, like sex, they can. Then I can talk about what gives me pleasure and what the other person likes too. I know people whose impairment means they don't have any sensation in the intimate parts of their body, but instead they love having their upper arm stroked, and it gives them such a great feeling. I think it's about finding out what you like and realising that we are all different regardless of disability. As human beings, we all have the ability to feel pleasure. Feeling pleasure really helps me. It makes my limbs relax and the pain goes away for a while. But also giving pleasure to someone else is very exciting. Sensual pleasure makes me feel good and I know I am alive.
Some people think disabled people can't have sex or be sexually active in any way. But the only way I am any different from anyone else is because I am a wheelchair user. Having a disability may mean that someone needs a bit of help or equipment, like having an accessible room, a hoist, or a bit of help with undressing. But my disability hasn't affected the physical side of things at all, apart from having to adjust and perhaps be more inventive. And sometimes I have to accept that there's no point in hyping myself up, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, if your legs are in a bad spasm, they are going to kick all over the place. You can't do anything about it. So you have to either not have full sex or, you just go with the flow and think, oh well, not tonight. Everyone needs to remember that consensual sex does not have a rule book. Being extra inventive to overcome difficulties can be annoying, but also keeps things fun and interesting.